Well, we'll now return to our live broadcast while the news continues on our Ofcom platforms. Mixed reactions have continued to trail the intervention of the presidency to broker peace in the political crisis in Rivers State. At the center of the public debate on the matter are questions about the timing and motive of the agreement reached by both parties. Senior correspondent Uche Okoro has details.
These resolutions to make peace between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and FCT Minister Nyesom Wike is a good move to ease tensions in Rivers State. But on the other side are those who argue that even the best intentions must be backed by law.
Well, for me,
for them, it is too late for a political solution to the crisis.
Parties cannot by mutual consent legalize an illegality. You and I cannot have an agreement to commit a crime and now seek to enforce such an agreement. It's an agreement that is inherently void. It's a nullity. Because what the resolution seeks to do is to amend provisions of the Constitution, Section 109, subsection 1, paragraph G.
Upcoming political scientists, the young ones, will never, or even lawyers and all that, and then those who are interested in policy will not understand the import of, defection as provided in the law. And so, but if, these things would have been allowed, to be tested in the court of competent jurisdiction, then at the end of the day, even up to Supreme Court, whether the cases were manipulated or not, then these ones would now become reference point for democracy to thrive.
Topping the list of sensitive parts of the document are the potential return of 9 commissioners who resigned their positions and the fate of state lawmakers who defected from their original political party.
You wouldn't have those who are part of your executive council, who are the major fulcrum of your executive council, not loyal to you. And so how do you drive? How does the governor take decision and then expect decisions to be obeyed, decisions to be implemented? And so it doesn't go that way.
The Constitution has made it that once you defect, you lose your seat. So you don't lose your seat and go back and have a rethink and say, I'm coming back to take my seat. No. What will happen is that even if you redefect back to PDP, you're going back to the drawing board because there's going to be another by-election. So if you're interested in returning back, you have to go back to your party and lobby for sponsorship.
All eyes would be on Rivers State to see how these resolutions would be implemented and what impact it would have on the relationship between the 2 main public officials behind the crisis.
I live the ladder too.
Uche Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
For more the developments in Rivers State, I'm being joined on the news by TVC News senior correspondent Uche Okoro. Uche, the governor has said no price is too big to pay for the return of peace. Tell us more about his reactions to the resolutions reached.
It was a very emotional word there. Of course, you were watching, you could see the governor was, it looked as though he was on the verge of breaking down in tears. It was a very emotional one for him. Tells you how the toll this has taken on him as a person and as a governor as well. Well, that's his first reaction to that resolution that was reached at about this time last night in Abuja. That was his reaction. That reaction also came barely an hour or just a few hours after his arrival back to Port Harcourt from Abuja. Now, the governor has said no price is too big to pay. We do not know what the next steps would be. Of course, he also ended by saying that he would continue to pay that price for the interest of peace, for peace to reign. We do not know for now how implementation of that resolution is going to be. Nothing was said about timing of when the implementation would begin or how it is going to look like. So emotional one from him there, but I think the next few days would need to. Next few days, all eyes will be watching to see action taken as regards what has been agreed on paper.
Indeed, and how exactly are Rivers State residents reacting to this?
Well, I must say that it is mixed reactions, but you would find a higher number of persons who are quite disenchanted by what has happened, or what happened in Abuja yesterday, while there are persons who are quite happy, that optimistic that this is going to bring peace or return peace to the state. There are also those who say, yes, we never wanted this crisis to fester for this long, or for things to get this bad. We're eager to see a resolution, or for both leaders to come together as allies once again. But then again, the terms and conditions of that resolution has left a lot to be desired amongst many residents of Rivers State, who see this as who see this resolution as being quite lopsided in favor of just one party. So that's the general feeling in the air. People are happy, are optimistic that perhaps this will return peace to the state. But then again, looking at the balance of the balance of the conditions that were put forward in that resolution, they are quite uncertain about the impact it would have on the overall peace and calm of Rivers State.
And have lawmakers in the state been sitting since the last we heard from them about passing of the budget and all of those?
Well, no, we haven't heard, apart from their last sitting, which I reported a few days ago, we haven't heard anything about any update on their sitting. I've been following up. In fact, this morning I was on my phone a lot in the early parts of this morning trying to keep tabs with the 27 lawmakers to find out if they would sit. But I was told that no sitting took place today. But one of the resolutions was that the assembly should be given a place to sit. But we don't have any information for now. Like I said, implementation of that resolution, to the best of my knowledge, hasn't begun. Perhaps it has begun over the phone and over roundtable discussions, but as to actual visible actions that can be monitored, I can't say.
All right, Uche, thank you very much for that update. Uche Okoro for us in Port Harcourt.